Spain is one of my favourite destinations in the world, and today I want to make one of my most favourite Spanish dishes, paella. I've got some beautiful ingredients here. I'm using some skinless bannock-burn free-range chickens, very beautiful, and I'm going to put them together with some fantastic king prawns and some mussels, local mussels that I've steamed open. The first step is to peel some chorizo and slice it. Just need to take the skin off. And just slice it about 1 centimetre thick. Now I need to get my pan hot. So I'll just turn that on to high. These pans are quite thin. This pan size is perfect for about 4 people. You can double this recipe or triple it, get a really large pan if you like. But these pans will heat up quite quickly, so just be wary of that. I'll put the sausages in. Now I don't put any oil in this. These sausages have quite a lot of their own fat, and the oil will render down as we go. You'll see what I mean in a second. While that's cooking, I'll just prepare some of the other ingredients. I'm just going to take chicken, cut it into small dice. Just keeping an eye on that sausage. Just needs to be turned over so it doesn't burn too much. You can see how that oil is coming out of the sausage. That's going to be fantastic to fry our prawns in. Chorizo's ready to come out. I'm just using a slotted spoon to take that out because I really want that oil to stay in the pan. Next thing I'm going to put in is our chicken pieces. Now I don't want these to cook all the way through. I'm just going to seal these quickly. The idea is just to get a bit of colour on the chicken and to pick up some of those wonderful chorizo flavours. Put some seasoning in there, just a little bit of salt, pepper. And I'll just roll these pieces around. Okay, that's perfect. Don't be frightened by the fact that that chicken's still pink. It'll cook all the way through in the final process of this dish. Okay, so just set that aside. I'll just add a little bit of oil and put in some of these fantastic prawns. Once again, same as the chicken, just want to colour them, get some flavour going, and we won't use them all. Salt and pepper. While these prawns are cooking, I'll just quickly dice those onions. It's just a rough dice. Now, I don't want those prawns to overcook, so I'll just grab those out now. You have to work reasonably quickly in this first stage. Back on the heat. Onions in. Now these are going to cook for a couple of minutes just to soften up. I don't really want a lot of colour in them particularly. I'll just drop that heat back just a fraction and add a tiny little bit more oil. I've got 750 mils of chicken stock that I need to get hot. It's homemade chicken stock. And I'm just going to put a pinch of saffron into the stock so it can infuse. I need that to be boiling before I add it to my rice. Some garlic that I'll finely chop. Just keep your eyes on those onions while you're doing other things, but they're getting there. You could use a garlic crusher if you wanted to, if you didn't want to chop like this. I prefer to chop mine. Okay, so garlic in. And along with that, I'll add about a half a teaspoon of crushed fennel seeds. I've just smashed them up in a mortar and pestle. Now I'll just give that a stir around, being careful not to burn the garlic. Just really want to soften it and develop those flavours. Just give that a touch more oil. Okay, the next step, the rice. I've got 225 grams of paella rice, which I'll add to the pan. Stirring it around just to lift all those solids from the bottom. Now, as soon as this stock is boiling, I can add it to the pan. It's just coming up now. Just a couple of seconds away. There it is. Hot stock, straight in. Stir quickly just to lift all those crunchy bits up from the bottom of the pan. Crunchy means flavour. And just let that come gently up to the boil. Then we'll drop it back to a simmer. We'll simmer for about 20 minutes or so before we add the other ingredients. Oh, one last thing. We need an all-important ingredient. Hot paprika. About a half a teaspoon. I really like this, so I like to be quite generous. So back to a simmer and wait for 20 minutes. We're about 10 minutes in and you can see the grains are starting to swell up. What looked like a small amount of rice now looks like it's going to be enough. Now you just need to make sure you keep stirring through the process. It's okay if it catches on the pan a little bit, that's good. That's a sign of a good paella. But you don't want it to burn. So you can just give it a shake or give it a stir. And we're not far away from adding the rest of our ingredients. I might just quickly add a little bit more seasoning. It's easier to season the rice now before you get all those ingredients in. A little bit more pepper, but the flavours are really starting to come together. You can really smell Spain. Now you can see that rice is really puffed up now. There's a little bit of liquid left. I'm just going to slide that off the heat for a minute and start adding my big flavours in. All that chorizo. All of our chicken. I'm just going to make sure that that chicken, prawn and sausage pushes down below the rice. Now I'm going to cook this until almost all the liquid has gone. And at the very last minute, that's when I'll add the mussels. The mussels are already cooked, so I don't want to put them in too early, or else they'll be really hard and rubbery. So I'm really saving that for the very last minute. Okay. For this recipe, I'm also including some beautiful roast peppers. Now you could roast your own at home. I often do mine on the barbecue. But I've got these beautiful piquillo peppers, the little Spanish peppers. Really cheap to buy, really, really beautiful, and they keep really well in the fridge, so I'm going to use those today. You can really see how that's coming together. It's looking really nice and rich. Loads of flavour in there. Because those chicken pieces are so small too, they won't take long to cook. The breast pieces cook in a matter of minutes, as do the prawns. And while that's cooking away, I'm just going to tear up some of these peppers and poke them into the rice. You can see now it's starting to just grab on the bottom. It's perfect. And our chicken pieces are almost there. Now I'm going to add my mussels to the dish. I won't use all of these. You need to press them into the rice just like the other ingredients. Just going to scatter a little bit more smoked paprika over, just for luck. Bit of colour. Some beautiful baby peas. Turn off the heat. Just cover the whole thing with a sheet of foil. Careful, it's hot. Now it's going to go into the oven for about 5 minutes while I open some wine, cut some lemons, get started. Okay, I'm pretty sure that paella is done. I'll grab it now. And there it is. A couple of wedges of lemon. And there's nothing more to do but have a glass of wine. Enjoy.